Now coming to the next part, that is your epidural anesthesia. The name is only suggesting that anesthesia has been given to the epidural area. Epidural area means the space between the dura mater and the vertebral bone is known as epidural space, and this epidural space is filled with a fatty substance known as epidural fat. So basically we are inserting the anesthesia into the epidural fat. Okay, it is different from that of spinal anesthesia. In spinal anesthesia, the needle is inserted into the arachnoid subarachnoid space, means it between the pia mater and arachnoid mater, that too in the nerve root of your caudate vena. But in case of epidural anesthesia, it is being given to the epidural fat. Okay, apart from this, we have got three categories depending upon the site of injection. Like we have got thoracic epidural anesthesia, lumbar and caudal epidural anesthesia, and the name only suggests that what will be the site of injection. Thoracic means here injection is made in the mid thoracic region. The epidural, here the epidural space will be relatively narrower, because of which smaller amount of the drug will produce the action as such. Okay, in case of lumbar anesthesia, relatively larger amount of the drugs has to be given, because the space is a bit wider as compared to the thoracic anesthesia. And in case of caudal, it will be mainly injected in the sacral canal through the sacral hiatus. It produces anesthesia of the pelvic and peripheral region. So it is mostly useful for vaginal delivery, anorectal and genitourinary operations. Okay, now apart from these, two important drugs, that is lidocaine and bupivacaine, are widely used for epidural anesthesia, and among these two drugs, bupivacaine has got a longer duration of action. And obviously when we are giving these agents adjoint with your adrenaline, it will still extend the duration of action. Okay, apart from this, when we are comparing the epidural anesthesia with spinal anesthesia, technically you can say epidural anesthesia is more difficult than spinal anesthesia, and relatively larger volumes of drugs are being needed. And apart from this, almost the adverse effect are almost relatively same. You can say cardiovascular complication, that is hypertension, is also produced by your epidural anesthesia. And but headaches and neurological complications are less seen with epidural anesthesia as compared to spinal anesthesia. Apart from this, a very good thing regarding this epidural anesthesia are, it can be given during a childbirth. Okay, like when you give about 0.25% of bupivacaine, about 0.25% of bupivacaine via epidural anesthesia during childbirth, there will be a line of differentiation between motor and sensory action neurons. Okay, means what happens, during childbirth, when we are giving this much amount of bupivacaine, even the mother can participate in all the efforts taken for delivering a baby, because of which motor neurons are being active, but there won't be any pain, means sensory action will be inhibited to a major extent. So this is a, you can say there is a greatest separation between the sensory and motor blockage. Sensory blockage will be there, but there won't be any motor blockage. So the mother can produce all those efforts for a childbirth without feeling the sense of pain. Okay, apart from this, we can also supply other important importance regarding this epidural anesthesia are, we can provide continuous epidural anesthesia by inserting a catheter. Okay, a catheter by which continuous supply of the anesthesia can be given. Means if in case if any surgery is been extended, it was expected for nearly 6 hours, but it has been extended to 12 to 13 hours. So in that case, we can continuously give anesthesia by inserting a catheter, and we can provide anesthesia via epidural anesthesia. Okay, so this is regarding your epidural anesthesia.